How did President Trump's approach to NATO impact the relationship between the United States and European leaders? The relationship between President Donald Trump and NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was a subject of much debate and discussion during his tenure. Trump's approach to NATO was marked by his distinctive rhetoric and policy stances, which challenged the traditional norms of American engagement with the alliance. From the outset, President Trump expressed skepticism about NATO and criticized its member countries for not meeting their defense spending commitments. He argued that other countries were taking advantage of the United States' disproportionate financial burden within the alliance. Trump's emphasis on burden sharing resonated with some Americans who believed their country was shouldering an unfair share of the defense costs. His vocal criticism of NATO's financial disparities led to concerns among allies, who feared that a weakened commitment from the United States could undermine the alliance's cohesion and effectiveness. Trump's rhetoric, at times, painted NATO as an obsolete organization and questioned its relevance in the face of emerging security challenges. Such statements raised doubts about the U.S. commitment to collective defense and generated uncertainty within the alliance. One of the key concerns during President Trump's tenure was his unpredictability and unconventional diplomatic style. His tendency to question traditional alliances and approach international relations from a transactional perspective created uncertainty among NATO allies. Trump's decision to withdraw troops from Syria without consulting NATO partners and his public criticism of European leaders further strained the transatlantic relationship. European leaders became increasingly concerned about the U.S. commitment to NATO's collective defense. President Trump's questioning of the alliance's relevance and his emphasis on transactional relationships created uncertainty about America's long-term commitment to European security. This unease led some European leaders to explore alternative security arrangements and seek greater self-reliance. President Trump's emphasis on burden sharing and calling out NATO members for not meeting their defense spending targets had mixed effects. While it prompted some European countries to increase their defense budgets, it also created resentment and frustration among allies who felt unfairly singled out. The pressure to meet financial commitments became a contentious issue within the alliance. Moreover, President Trump's openness to engaging with authoritarian leaders, such as Russia's Vladimir Putin, raised concerns about the alignment of U.S. interests with those of NATO. Trump's approach to NATO was perceived by some as eroding the alliance's unity and undermining its credibility in the face of evolving geopolitical challenges. President Trump's approach to NATO caused some European leaders to re-evaluate their perceptions of the United States as a reliable and steadfast ally. The perception of an unpredictable and transactional U.S. administration led to calls for greater European strategic autonomy and self-reliance. Some European leaders began exploring closer relationships with other global powers to diversify their security partnerships. President Trump's relationship with NATO was marked by a mix of criticism, policy shifts, and unpredictability. While his emphasis on burden sharing and increased defense spending by allies was not unfounded, his confrontational rhetoric and unconventional diplomatic style strained the transatlantic partnership. The impact of Trump's approach to NATO remains a subject of debate, with some arguing that it compelled allies to reassess their defense commitments, while others highlight the negative consequences of strained relationships and weakened alliance cohesion. As the world continues to face complex security challenges, it is essential for future U.S. leaders to strike a balance between addressing legitimate concerns and preserving the unity and effectiveness of the NATO alliance.